Hey y'all, welcome to the Pace Studio in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Ellen.
I'm Lizzie.
And this is A Week in Music, where we're going to talk about all the best new album songs and music news that came out in the last 7 days. To start us off this week, we got a really awesome new single that Lizzie's going to tell us about.
Yeah, so we have this band called Porridge Radio.
Wow,
and
just incredible.
Incredible.
Incredible band name.
So they just signed a Secretly Canadian, and they put out 3 singles this year. So this is the brand new one. It's called Lilac. This is actually, I would say, a late Song of the Year contender.
This song is pretty amazing.
For me. I think basically they're kind of known for garage rock, but like the vocals are very like woozy and kind of detached almost. But this new single, I mean, we've talked about this on this show before of the tension building strings.
Yeah, that's been a really popular
big fan myself
thing this year.
Yes, and if you're a fan of those, like listening to the song, like you're just gonna want to throw yourself off a cliff. Like that's that's how I feel about this song, because it's kind of got like a classic pop energy, but also with a little sort of like ramshackle punk thrown in as well. Yeah, but this song, like when I heard it, like, you know how sort of Twitter stans are like, they will reach out to artists on Twitter and be like, hit me with a lime scooter or something like that. Like,
yeah, run me over. Like that's this song. Yeah.
That's basically how I feel about this song.
It's incredible.
But I'm looking forward to the new album from these guys. And so you're going to tell
Porridge
us
Radio
about Georgia Maq.
Yeah, now we're talking about Georgia Maq, who is a character that we're already familiar with. She is the lead singer of a band called Camp Cope from Australia. They put out a record last year, 2018, called How to Socialize and Make Friends that made our best albums of the year list. They've been on our radar for a while now. One of those bands that you might refer to as feminist punk, rock, you know, that kind of thing. They've always been very politically outspoken, and Georgia Maq is one of my favorite vocalists in all of rock music for the past couple years. She's absolutely incredible. And on Thursday, out of the blue, she dropped her debut solo album, which was just the perfect early Christmas present. So exciting. And unlike the Camp Cope music, this music is really synth forward. It's kind of has the same energy as like what Frances Quinlan did when she dropped her first solo single. It gives me the same kind of vibes. Lots of synth and just different techniques. And yeah, it's really incredible and very cool to see her stepping out on her own. And we're going to listen to one of the songs from the record. It's the first song on there. And it actually does have guitar on it, which is interesting. It is not representative of the rest of the album, so definitely go check it out. But this song is called Away from Love.
Walking away from love, 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 walking away from love.
All right, and that was Away from Love by Georgia Maq. And now we're going to talk about another thing that happened in the music world this week, which was all of the end of the year lists started happening.
Yes.
And here at Pace, we dropped a few of our own. We dropped the best albums of 2019 and the best songs of 2019, which is what we want to talk a little bit about today, because there were so many great songs that we just couldn't stop listening to this year. So I think we're going to go ahead and take a look at the top 10.
Yes.
And coming in at number 10 on our list of the best songs of 2019 is Julia Jacklin, Don't Know How to Keep Loving You, which is just one of the most heartbreaking, beautiful songs we've heard all year long. Came out early in the year too, like January or February. And she actually ended up playing a version of this song in our studio, which I would urge you all to go check it out because it is just so raw and beautiful. But yeah, what an amazing song.
This one's incredible. I mean, I think we could have picked a lot of different Julia Jacklin tracks
anything
for
on that album
for this songs list, but honestly, this one, I think, sums up what the kind of breakup song that she does really well on this record, and just the slowness of the song, the kind of breeziness, like you just kind of want to wrap yourself in her voice.
Totally. So we love Julia Jacklin. And then coming in at number 9, obviously this is a Grammy-nominated track. This is Bad Guy, Billie Eilish.
I think this is going to take the Grammy, honestly.
You think so?
I think it will.
Besides Old Town Road, which is also going to be talked about in a few minutes, Bad Guy is the song of the year, really, when it comes to like the pop charts and everything.
Right.
I mean, what song took over, airplay as much as Bad Guy?
Yeah. And I think if you look at the pop charts the last 10 years or something like that, like the sort of like the pop song of the year, like this one is nothing like any of the other ones, which I really appreciate. Even if you're somebody who is unsure of how you feel about Billie Eilish or whatnot, like I just think it is, I don't even know how you would characterize it. I mean, yes, it's a pop song, but I don't know, like that explicitly dark energy, I've not really heard on a gigantic pop song.
It's a scary pop song.
Recently.
This is the scariest pop song that we've had that's become this big in the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and just the way that she presents herself, her whole persona, like, I give her all the credit for paving that way.
So here for Billie. That's number 9. And number 8 is aforementioned Old Town Road, Lil Nas X, which obviously, I mean, Song of the Summer. Could have seen that one coming as soon as it got popular and Billy Ray Cyrus joined in on the remix. I mean, there was just no stopping this song.
That was, I think easily the most inescapable song of the year. And
absolutely.
Maybe I think, with the repeated remixes, it was kind of like, all right, like
we get it.
Let's, move on from here. But I don't know.
But I mean, what an incredible moment for country music this year. I mean, they performed the song at on TV. This is a big moment for country music and hip hop coming together, and I think it's awesome that it was the biggest song of the year.
The Cowboys are mainstream.
Yeah, this was the Yeehaw year, and this is so appropriate that this was the Yeehaw year and this was the song of the year. I love it. I'm so here for that. And here we come to number 7, a song that I know we both love, which is Big Thief's Not from their second album of the year, which, I mean, we could have picked songs from both albums for this list easily. But this song came out as a single and it was like immediately people were like, this is a song of the year contender.
I think there's a case to be made that this is their best ever song.
Yeah.
I'm sort of on the bordering of that. I think like Mary to me is still close.
Still the number one for you?
Maybe still number one. But I think this one, the way that it sort of evades a typical song structure.
Absolutely. Just that stream of consciousness flow is so amazing.
The was it the Colbert performance that they were on that show? I
believe so.
And the performance of that song, like the live version of this song is just incredible.
Out of this world. Yeah. So definitely love that one.
Raw brilliance.
And then coming in at number 6, another song that I heard and immediately was like, this is the song of the year. Like, I'm surprised it didn't clock in at number 1, honestly. This is Mannequin Pussy Drunk 2, which is just one of the most cathartic, we've got I Don't Know How to Keep Loving You on the softer end of the breakup song spectrum. Right. And then we've got the angry, just like, punchy Drunk 2 from Mannequin Pussy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And I think it's kind of nice, too, that it also doesn't sort of fully close the door on the relationship either. It's like this angry thing, but then, I don't know. I think also having seen it live, that's a whole other uplifting
Everyone
experience.
in the show was singing along with that. Yeah. That was so great.
I think this is easily their best song for me.
Oh my gosh, definitely. It's been so cool to see how people who maybe wouldn't have heard of this band otherwise have kind of latched onto them after hearing this song. I think it got them a lot of new fans. And coming in at number 5 is Weiss Blood Movies, which is one of my personal top songs of the year, coming from our number 1 album of the year, Weiss Blood, Titanic Rising. And movies, again, this has been such a theme in indie rock and kind of indie pop this year, is the swells of strings. It was on Angel Olsen's album. It's on Weiss Blood's album. It's one of the most grand, I mean, truly the word cinematic is perfect for this because it's a song about movies and it has the feel of watching a movie.
And the keyboards in this song, to me, it maybe isn't necessarily the best representative of the whole album, but the song is just a mood setter.
Exactly.
It is one of the most just sort of lush, relaxing songs that you'll hear.
Incredible. All right, and coming in at number 4 is Clairo's Bags. I know you're a huge fan of this record. What do you love about this song?
So I think for me, I was approaching this record with a lot of skepticism because
it was so hyped.
It was very hyped. I think some of her earlier tracks were kind of, like there was one song called Flaming Hot Cheeto where it's kind of like, I don't know if I'm down with this. Like,
what direction are you going in here?
I think from the start you could tell that there was something there and that people were obviously latching onto, and the fact that Rostam came on board to produce.
Yeah, amazing.
So I think I was like, maybe this is probably worth checking out.
Yeah.
And I remember one of our coworkers sending us the link to this single as soon as it dropped.
As soon as I remember the day well.
And just being like, wait a minute, like this could be a really great record.
Yeah.
And I think just the way it's obviously it's an indie rock song, but I think it's actually kind of, I think like the way it implements the kind of lush electronics almost at parts. And I don't know, I think it's probably the best song of the year in terms of wistfulness.
Yeah.
I think this, the lyrics about, literally just sitting on the couch next to somebody, not telling them how you feel about them.
Yeah.
Like it's
perfect teen song.
It's
Claire's young and she captures that energy really well. That's number 4. And number 3, going back to the strings again, we have Angel Olsen's Lark, which I believe this is one of the first singles from her album, which was our number 2 album of the year, All Mirrors. And all the singles were amazing, but there's something really special about Lark.
Yeah. I think to me, this one, the arc of this song is like, I have experienced every point of this relationship.
Yeah. You're on the roller coaster for sure.
Yeah.
And it's one of those songs that starts out one way, and then by the end of it, it's an entirely different song.
And I think I'm a fan of the long song, but I think the she doesn't necessarily, there's like no slack in this.
No.
This is a song
So
that
tight.
is the slow builder sort of climax
Right.
and then the sharp fall.
Exactly.
And to me, that's one of the most satisfying things you can experience in a song.
It's a journey of a song. And number 2, so this is Lizzo's Juice, but we could have picked almost any song from this album to throw on this list. I mean, there's so hit after hit. You've got Truth Hurts, which was up there with Bad Guy, and Old Town Road as being one of the most inescapable songs of the entire year. But the song Juice, man, it's just so much fun, right?
It's easily like the most fun and the funkiest song on a record. And I think the video is fantastic.
The video is so great with like the vintage 80s
kind of workout
exercise
stuff.
video, know? And it's got so many cool 80s vibes on this song. And it's just the kind of song that you're just going to want to get up and dance to.
Yeah.
I mean, I run to this song, whatever. But, we love Lizzo. We love her positive energy. She is loving herself on this song. And it's just really hard not to smile when you hear it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's our number 2. And here we go. This is the number 1 song of the year, which I love the story of this song. This is Sharon Van Etten's 17. And not only the story of like the narrative of the song itself, but this song came out, I think like the first week of January.
Really
2019
early.
had just begun. We're like still scratching our eyes, we're like up early. And this song drops and it was like immediately, like this is going to be a memorable moment of music this year. And we've been saying all year long, what kind of curious as to where this song would fall. And it stayed at number 1 all year long.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think it's interesting how opinions shift throughout the year. It's kind of a, to put a sort of beginning and an end, such a strict beginning and end to a year like that, I think is really hard because
it is.
It's an unusual way to consume music like that.
Right.
But also I think right away when this album dropped, we knew this was a special record.
Definitely.
And also a considerable departure for her. I mean, not a huge departure, but in terms of the synth work on this record and
it's amazing.
Some of the elevated production on this record.
Yeah.
I think but it's also classic Sharon in the way that it makes you feel warm and toasty on the inside,
It's amazing. I mean, she totally went in an opposite direction from what 2014 Are We There, which was largely considered to be a folk, indie rock kind of album. And this just transcends all of those, descriptions. And 17, the music video that goes along with the song is also great. You kind of see Sharon Van Etten walking with like a shadow of her a younger version of herself. And the actress that plays the younger woman, they look exactly alike. It's the perfect casting there. And it's just pretty much just her just kind of running down, what it was like to be a young rock artist in New York, running around, coming up in the world. And it has that kind of Bruce Springsteen feel to it. And
I think for people that were following her from day one to see this video is like an overwhelming experience.
Oh my gosh, it's all the feelings, all the feelings. And this song live is just amazing. She's got this one part where she just screams, I know what I'm going to be, I know what you're going to be.
2019 mood.
It's just her just like shouting at you, and there's just so much emotion in it. And it's been really cool to watch someone that we have always known be was a really great songwriter, kind of really come out on top this year. And could not be happier with our choice for number 1.
I agree.
So that's our best songs of 2019 list, and you can check it out on pacemagazine.com along with our best albums of 2019 list, and there are accompanying playlists with both. So check that out. But that does it for us here at The Week in Music, and we'll see you back next week.